What if I told you the strongest dragons in How to Train Your Dragon never even wore the alpha crown? Yep, you heard that right. Some dragons have alpha level power even if nobody ever gave them the title. They're so strong, smart, and scary that other dragons follow without question. Some lead packs, some shake mountains, and a few are so rare even hardcore fans forget them. So today we're counting down 10 dragons that totally feel alpha even if no one gave them the title. We'll start with the ones that act like alphas and finish with the ones really crowned ones. At number 10 is a dragon that doesn't roar, doesn't lead armies, but still feels like royalty, the Light Fury. She may be quiet, but don't let that fool you. The Light Fury has presence. When she flies, you feel it. She never officially is called an alpha, but besides Toothless, she stands as his equal, and in dragon terms, that bond, loyalty, and quiet power is royalty. We meet her in the hidden world, deep inside glowing caves where she's fast, mysterious, and completely untouchable. She bonds with Toothless through trust, not power, proving she's equal. She fires glowing plasma, vanishes midair, and flies faster than most dragons. But maybe the most fascinating thing? She doesn't trust humans, not even Hiccup. When Hiccup first tries to show Toothless the Light Fury, she is instantly alert and defensive. She stays distant until she feels safe. So no, she doesn't need to roar to lead. She leads with instinct, speed, and silence. She earns her place not by taking the spotlight, but by commanding it in silence. Number 9. Shellfire. The Shellfire's a sea monster-like dragon that looks more like a living battleship than a dragon. You may hate me for saying this, but Shellfire deserves alpha status. It might not be officially crowned an alpha, but let's be honest, its size and power alone demand alpha-level respect. Just one of these giants can take on entire fleets and cause pure chaos across the ocean. So what makes this sea monster alpha level without a crown? First off, the size. Shellfire is massive, easily one of the biggest dragons we've ever seen. It shoots boiling water or scalding steam blasts that can melt metal. Yes, melt through metal. It doesn't lead packs like Toothless, but its territory is so dangerous, others stay clear. Shellfire first appears in Dragon's Race to the Edge during a battle with hunters. Its presence alone sends enemies scrambling. Even villains like Vigo had to build custom traps just to stay alive. This dragon is so massive, it looks like a small island before rising to attack. It rules from below, lurking beneath the waves like a sea god. Shellfire has more than earned its place among the most powerful alpha-level dragons ever. Number 8. The Forever Wing. Next is the ancient Forever Wing, a Titan wing dragon that commands respect, alpha or not. The Forever Wing first made its big debut in the Dragon's Rise of Berk game, before appearing in the animated series Race to the Edge. It never showed up in the movies, but fans haven't forgotten it. Unlike most dragons that fight aggressively, the Forever Wing only steps in when truly needed. Instead of clashing, it uses its massive presence and deep bond with nature to guard others. The Forever Wing is so huge, trees grow on its back. Most don't realize it's a dragon until it moves. Imagine thinking you're standing on a cliff and then the ground starts to move. That's the Forever Wing. It doesn't breathe fire like Toothless, but its calm strength and size make it a true alpha. Though the Forever Wing isn't officially an alpha, its ancient presence and guardian role earn it a place in our top 10. Number 7. The Screaming Death, Absolute Terror on Wings. The Screaming Death didn't show up in the movies, it exploded onto the scene in Defenders of Berk, and yeah, it's just as terrifying as it sounds. It's not just strong, it's almost impossible to stop. In Defenders of Berk, it nearly wiped out entire villages just by screaming and tearing through the earth like it was nothing. One of the wildest moments? It tunnels underground, then erupts to ambush enemies with brutal force. Multiple times in the series, the Screaming Death tunnels underground and explodes upward, ambushing villages and dragon riders. Imagine something that can dig through the earth like a living drill. Terrifying, right? Its scream freezes dragons and humans, and its digging can collapse mountains. But this dragon didn't just become an alpha by leading armies or forming bonds. Even the baddest dragons, they run when this dragon shows up. That's alpha. The Screaming Death is pure destruction. Brutal, unpredictable, unstoppable. Think about that for a second. It doesn't need a crown, it is the disaster, the nightmare of the entire How to Train Your Dragon world. And after all that chaos and destruction, let's slow things down. Number 6, the Fireworm Queen. She might not grab your attention at first, she's small after all. I didn't expect it either, but she's actually an alpha in her own right, and here's why. Usually when you think of alpha dragons, you picture giants like the Bewilderbeast or Red Death, right? But with the Fireworm Queen, she leads differently, commanding respect as the ruler of an entire swarm. Her body literally glows like molten lava in the dark. She produces rare glowing fireworm jelly, their lifeline, which every fireworm would die to protect. No fire breath or battles, she rules with presence. Her glowing body says it all. Remember that Race to the Edge episode where the riders find that glowing hive under the volcano? Yep, that's her lair. No roaring battle, no chaos, just a lava-lit world ruled by one glowing queen. And here you might have missed her whole look was inspired by real queen bees. So she doesn't just lead dragons, she runs a whole hive. Personally, I love that the Fireworm Queen doesn't need to roar or dominate. She doesn't seek control, it happens naturally. That quiet confidence and glow make her stand out. Think the Fireworm Queen deserves more love? Drop a comment if she's in your top 6. Or are you saving that spot for someone way bigger? Let me know. Number 5, Red Death. This dragon didn't need a crown, it ruled by fear, and if you were a smaller dragon, you either brought it food or became the food. The Red Death needed no intro, one look and you knew it was a monster, not just any dragon. Hiding in a volcano, the Red Death ruled like a giant, ruthless tyrant. During the final battle in How to Train Your Dragon 2010, the Red Death chases Hiccup and Toothless into the sky, but with speed and strategy, they take it down, sending the fire-breathing giant crashing into a mountain of flames. You've seen it, but did you ever notice? The Red Death never gets named in the movie, but DreamWorks confirmed it later, and fans were like, yeah, that name fits. Giant, angry, and it's built like a mountain with wings. It breathes fire from 3 vents with a roar that terrifies entire dragon armies. No question, the Red Death is alpha level for its sheer, terrifying power. It didn't need to speak, it didn't need to lead, it just ruled. Number 4, Elder Nightlight. At number 4 is the Elder Nightlight, a powerful ancient dragon. This dragon is basically like the wise old grandpa of Nightlights and dragons, the 9 realms. As we know, he was the leader of the Thunder Clan. It's incredibly powerful with scars and a damaged tail fin showing he survived many tough battles. Many fans believe the Elder Nightlight isn't just any dragon, it's a direct descendant of Toothless, the crowned alpha of all dragons. Unlike younger dragons, the Elder doesn't roar to prove dominance, it leads with silence. It guides, protects, and even tests Thunder, the main dragon of the 9 realms, showing a wisdom that only time can give. But this dragon fights smart, commands respect, and defends its territory like a true ruler. When Thunder enters its territory in Season 6, the Elder fights smartly, using strategy and patience instead of wild blasts. Basically, the Elder Nightlight is a reminder that sometimes the strongest leaders don't need to prove anything. They just are. When it comes to alpha strength, many dragons qualify, but only 3 stood at the very top, the official alphas. Let's start. Number 3, Bewilderbeast. One of the most terrifying dragons in the entire franchise, Bewilderbeast. This thing didn't just fight for the crown, it killed for it. Audiences first met this dragon in How to Train Your Dragon 2 when Drago brings this walking ice tank into battle, and right away, you know this dragon means business. Now, here's the scary part. When it faces off against Valka's Bewilderbeast, 2 giants blasting ice across the battlefield, shaking the ground beneath them, Drago's Bewilderbeast is brutal. It launches a massive ice spear right into the neck of Valka's dragon. I still remember the first time I saw that battle. Chills, man. One alpha gets stabbed right through the neck? I couldn't believe it. And just like that, it's over. One alpha falls and another rises. Every dragon, even Toothless and Hiccup's friends, fall under its control. All of them forced to follow this new alpha. That moment, it shocked every fan watching. Toothless taking over, that wasn't just scary, it was heartbreaking. This Bewilderbeast's ice blasts aren't just cold, they're deadly, freezing battlefields in seconds. But more than that, it doesn't just control dragons, it crushes their will. He didn't earn respect, it forced obedience. Number 2, Thunder, also known as the Nightlight. He was actually the first dragon we saw in the 9 realms back in Season 1. That alone makes him a pretty big deal, but Thunder isn't just strong, he's a natural leader. From the start, he bonds with Tom and quickly becomes the heart of the human-dragon bond. Other dragons naturally follow his lead, especially when things get tough. You know that moment when a story shifts forever? This was one of them. In Ragnarok Part 2, everything changes. The Elder Nightlight sacrifices himself to save Thunder and Tom from the World Serpent. As he takes his final moments, he passes on his alpha mode, and just like that, Thunder becomes the new alpha, the king of the hidden world. But Thunder's journey didn't start there. Back in Season 3, he bravely defends his rider and other dragons from a massive threat, the Fault Ripper. Even Even when outmatched, Thunder wins with strategy and instinct. He knows when to fight, when to lead, and when to fall back. What do you think about the Nightlight? Is it your favorite too? Let me know in the comments. Number 1. Toothless. Alright, at number 1, you probably already guessed who it is. The last known Night Fury, the one and only Toothless. We watched his journey in How to Train Your Dragon 2, and there's one moment fans will never forget. As we know, Drago's giant bewilderbeast had taken control. All the dragons, even Toothless, are under its spell, but Hiccup doesn't give up on him, and Toothless, he breaks free. He remembers who he is and who he's fighting for, and then he does the unthinkable. Can you believe it? This small Night Fury stands up to a dragon the size of a mountain? This scene, straight up iconic. He flies faster, glows brighter, and unleashes plasma power. The glowing blue lines aren't just for show, he unlocks his ultimate alpha power. He dives right through the blizzard of ice, blasts the bewilderbeast head on, and forces it to retreat, and then all the dragons bow to Toothless. Right there, he becomes the new alpha. Not just in name, for real. He leads with loyalty, courage, and love. That's why fans across the world connect with him. That's why Toothless is number 1 for his power, heart, and rise from underdog to alpha. If you liked this video, you can now click this other cool video. Click on it to see it. Click it!